Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Prehistoric Speculation. Over the last couple weeks, since we've seen the aquatics in their enclosures and since the gameplay trailer was shown, there's been a lot of debate over what would happen if an aquatic creature wanted to escape its enclosure because its comfort levels were too low and you weren't providing enough space or social requirements or whatever. So, yeah, today we're going to go over some of the options for what could happen when they want to escape. But before we get into that, please remember to leave a like and subscribe, it really does help me out, so yeah, please do that before you continue. So, let's get into it. The first option is quite a boring one, but I think it's probably going to be the most likely, sadly. There might be a couple of these could be together, so that two of these could co-inhabit or something. This is one I think is most likely to happen, is that they'll just bang into the walls and injure themselves. This is very similar to the way that smaller dinosaurs won't be able to break out of enclosures with higher security ratings than their stats do. The same thing would apply to the aquatics, so they just bang into the walls of the thing and hurt themselves. I sort of hope it isn't like that, but if it is like that, it still sort of implies that maybe we'll have to airlift them out and take them to a vet or something like that, which would still be exciting, but you know, yeah, I don't know. I'm not too sure about this one, but I do think it will be the most likely. I wish there was something a bit more interesting, but you know. One of the things I do think will happen is when they get to a higher stress level, is that they'll start to just attack other things in their enclosure. So what I mean by this is maybe if, I think you can have two mosasaurs cohabit together. So what if they got a higher stress level, they start to attack each other? Maybe that would be quite a cool thing to see. Like underwater fights would be awesome, instead of just the kill thing that we saw with the plesiosaurus. I'm sure there will be other things, because if we get something like a tylosaurus and a mosasaurus, they could definitely fight together and we could see some really awesome underwater dynamic battles, which I think is really the dream for everyone watching. You can't disagree with that, otherwise you are wrong. So yeah, that would be awesome to see, but I don't know. That one, again, it seems less likely, because then if that was sort of the thing with the aquatics, you'd also sort of expect it with the above-land creatures, where two T-Rexes that were cohabiting together, one of them doesn't have enough grass for 1 minute, and they're both eating each other. So, you know, it could have some downsides to it as well, but you never know. One of the other options is maybe when they escape, they do hit into the walls, but maybe ones that do have high enough security rating, who knows, maybe there are different security ratings for outside the wall, they'll just break the wall and all the water will drain out and they'll drown, or not drown, what's the opposite of drown? Suffocate. They'll suffocate on land or something, not drown, they don't even breathe air, they breathe air, yeah. They'll just die because of lack of water, basically. That's one of the options. I doubt it, though, because from what we've seen, all of the stuff is underwater, basically, so not too sure about that one, but, you know, it's an option. All of these, I think it's fair to keep an open mind with all of this stuff still. So it might be none of these, it could be multiple of them, you never know. Another one would be attacking viewing ports. I think that would be quite an interesting one to have. So maybe a mosasaurus is really mad, so it just bumps into a viewing port, floods with water, all of the lovely people watching the mosasaurus die and get eaten for snacks. But yeah, that's an option, I think, especially if they decide to do something similar to a gyrosphere. Maybe with, like, at Legoland, they have, like, the little submarines that go through the aquarium. Something like that, maybe, where guests can get their own submarine and it goes along on a track and it's underwater and all of that cool stuff. That'd be a really interesting attraction to see. It would be an awesome view to be inside and just seeing a mosasaur swim above you while you're in like a mini submarine thing. So yeah, that could be an option, and maybe they just get attacked by it or something. Like I imagine a T-Rex, when that's mad, that will start attacking gyrospheres and Jurassic tours and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, that again I think is quite a likely one if that sort of stuff is in the game, but you never know. Now, the last one is the least likely to happen, I think, but I do think it's the funniest. This one is they start attacking guests and dinosaurs. So, there's a few different ways to interpret this. One of them is like at the end of Jurassic World, the film, where it just jumps out, maybe if there's a guest or a dinosaur nearby, and it'll just grab it and it'll drag it back into the water. That, I think, is a fairly sane idea, you know. Another one, which I have seen floating about on Reddit a bit, is maybe it'll just dive out of the water, do a backflip, and start rolling across Main Street, destroying all the buildings. That's something I've seen a few people think. Whether that will be in the game or not, I think that's a bit up in the air, you know. But, you know, you can't rule it out. We haven't seen it. You can't rule out that they won't just attack guests and just roll into the T-Rex enclosure, start a fight with them, that sort of thing. Eat a bracket and kill it. That sort of thing. That would be quite cool to see, that sort of interaction. So, these are a few options of what could happen with the mosasaurus and the other aquatic creatures when they escape. So yeah, I really hope you've enjoyed. If you have, please remember to leave a like and subscribe. I'm serious, it really does help me out. We're getting close to 100. Hopefully we can hit it by the end of the week/month. That is a dream, but you know. So, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.